Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Noell. I'm the video production coordinator here at Star City Games. I'm here today with Gerry Thompson, and we are going to go over the StarCityGames.com Open Series Sacramento preview. This weekend, we're going to be at the Sacramento Convention Center. That's located at 1400 J Street. We are going to be located in Hall E. Now, I don't think that we've actually ever been to North California at all yet, so I'm not exactly familiar with this venue. But from what I'm looking around the area, it looks like there's going to be a lot of sit-down restaurants, probably not a lot of fast food, but the convention center will have some food in there. The schedule of events is going to be our usual. On Saturday morning, we're going to have our standard open that starts at 10 a.m., and we're also going to have a modern and a legacy challenge that day as well. On Sunday, we're going to have the Legacy Open that starts at 10 a.m. as well, and we're also going to have our Draft Open starting at 9 a.m., and our second Draft Open starts right around round 4 of the Legacy event. As far as F&Ms go, there is actually a store right down the street from the Convention Center, Big Brother Comics. It's located at 1722 J Street, number 2. And this week, looks like we're probably going to have a diverse field. As far as the last couple weekends go, what are your thoughts, Jerry?
It's been kind of crazy. There's been a bunch of somewhat new decks popping up over the last month or so. There's like Green Red Aggro, Blue Black Zombies. Both of those decks have shown themselves to be, tier 1 decks, basically. They've been making top 8s all over the place in the Grand Prix and the Open Series. And then last weekend in Dallas, there were 2 ramp decks in the finals. So things are always interesting. It's always changing. And these ramp decks were crazy, too. It wasn't like typical Wolf Run ramp stuff.
Yeah.
One of them was like Wolf Run White with Elish Norn and Day of Judgment, stuff like that. And the other one was a Jund Planeswalkers deck.
Actually have both
or
of the
Junk,
lists. Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we actually have both of the lists right here. And it looks like the Wolf Run White deck was running Mimic Vat, a Wormcoil Engine, a couple of Solemns, things like that to ramp up. But then it was running white for things like Elish Norn and Gideon, whereas the Jund Walkers, as it's been dubbed.
Junk.
Is it Junk Walkers?
Yeah, Green Black White is Junk. That's the extended name for the Green Black White deck, wave deck. So.
Might just be labeled wrong in our system then. All right, so it's got quite a few Planeswalkers, and that's where it gets the Junk Walkers name from. It's got a couple Elspeths, a few Garriks, a couple Gideons, a Karn, Lilianas, and Sorin all packed in there.
15 total Planeswalkers.
Just a ton of them.
And Tezzeret's Gambits. And then, of course, Lingering Souls, which has been a really big card from Dark Ascension. The standard event in Dallas was actually extremely diverse, too, with the top 8 having 7 different archetypes. There were actually 2 blue-white Delver lists, but every single other deck was completely unique. Like he said, there was black-blue zombies, showed up in 8th place. We had a blue-white humans, a blue-black control, green-red aggro, and then, of course, the Wolf Run White and Junk Walkers as well. Moving on to Legacy, we've actually had 2 pretty big Legacy events last week. One was the Grand Prix in Indianapolis, and the other was SCG Open Dallas. You were at Indianapolis. What were your thoughts on that? It was pretty cool. It was basically everything I expected, like lots of Rug, Maverick, and Blue-White Stoneblade, and Martel ended up winning with Esper Stoneblade featuring Lingering Souls. So that's a card that has been showing up in these ramp decks, in Legacy. It's just all over the place. I think Tom Lapilli went on record saying that he would have made the flashback 3 mana instead of 2.
Probably would have been a good idea.
We're kind of seeing the ramifications of that happening, where the card is very, very good and multi-format all-star for sure.
All right, so we had quite a few different decks in both, actually, the SCG Open Dallas Legacy event and the Indy GP top 8s. One of the big ones that we saw that was kind of unique was in Indy, there was a Dredge player who was playing with Flayer of the Hatebound.
Yeah.
Ando Ferguson was his name.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think it's very innovative.
It's a very unique card to throw in there.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the lists, like, some of them play a way to kill your opponent that turn, like a Flamekin Zealot, but some don't even. Like, I think Adam Prozac just doesn't play that card at all because he figures game 1, what are they going to do when you have, like, 20 zombies in play? You pass the turn, whatever, it doesn't matter. But Ando played Flare, which is kind of like Flamekin Zealot. You have to work a little harder, but it gets around things like Peacekeeper and Moat. You can just dome them out by reanimating a Grave Troll. So, I mean, that seems very, very good.
Yep. And then at the Open Series in Dallas, we had quite a diverse list here. Agrolum ended up taking it down. Nathan Zamora was his name. And we had 2 Rug Tempo decks, and again, the 7 different
archetypes, with only the 2 Rug Tempo decks being the only repeats.
Yep.
It was Aggro Loam, Rug Tempo, Stacks, a White Weenie List, Storm, Blue-White Stoneblade, and Goblins. So we are seeing the big bads that people have been kind of afraid of over the last few
Delver
months.
and Rug are the ones that show up twice in the top 8s.
Yeah, but they're not showing up 7 times in the top 8 like they have in the past.
Not quite Copblade.
Yeah, so I think that's it for today, and we hope to see you in Sacramento this weekend.